Hello, I'm Carmen, and welcome to a Yarn Story podcast.
Hi, I'm Susan, and welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, we are starting season 4 today, and this season's going to be a little bit different.
Is it? How so? I'm starting. For a start.
I like how you just pretended you had no idea.
No idea.
What
I do know what's going on,
format.
really. She wants me to tell you what the new format is. Right.
No.
Well, you saw this. You probably saw the special guest this week with your mum,
Yes.
and that was fun.
Yes, I
That was
got
great.
to do a special guest episode, a bonus episode of season 3 with my mom while I was on vacation. And I've been wanting to do lots of other knitter stories.
Yes.
That's something, we used to do that on the blog quite a bit, and it was kind of always an idea in the back of my head for the podcast. So we're going to give it a try in season 4. So we are going to be rotating through co-hosts.
Teasers and
Yes,
tasters of
from the
different
shop. So you'll
people.
see Susan, you'll see Kaylee, you'll see Amanda, you'll see Beverly again. And then there's no pressure on anyone.
No,
And
as it works.
yes, because, everybody has a personal schedule.
Yes.
Too.
Yes, exactly.
And then I'm going to be doing interview style episodes with some of my friends from the industry. And those I'm really excited about. I filmed a couple already. Because they are 2-part episodes. One where we really talk about knitting specifically and their life in knitting. And then part 2 is about their business.
Oh, great. Well, it's going to be interesting.
I think it's going to be fun. So yes, I've got Susan here for episode 1 of season 4 because she and I were on an adventure.
We were. That was great.
It was really good. But before we get into that, we will just tell you what we're wearing first.
Right.
Why don't you start?
I'm wearing the Broom by Andrea Mowry, which I knit back in, well, it was before you went to Toronto, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
so
So
it was like
March,
Yeah.
April. Out of fluff behind us, Glacial Depths fluff.
Yeah.
And I've actually been wearing it in the shop all day. I came in something else, and it was just a little bit on the edge with all the rain we're having.
Oh, it's so miserable
So
today.
I put it on today, and the great thing is it's warm but not hot. And I'm not a big turtleneck or neck person anymore, but it's sort of vented so you don't get hot. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And so it's a very clever design that the neck sort of sits off. And so yeah, I've just been comfortable today, and it's so light. I mean,
And
I
it's
think the
so
whole
flattering.
thing.
It's very pretty.
I think the whole thing weighs about 150 grams or something.
Yeah, you
It's
said you used
nothing,
3 skeins.
3 and a bit skeins.
Yeah, so 3 skeins of fluff.
So it's a great, throw it on, throw it in your bag when you're traveling on the plane, on, off.
Goes well with
Change
everything.
of climate, evenings in the summer. So yeah, it goes with everything. And we'll talk about how it went down at Flock
Yeah.
in a minute.
I'm also wearing a purely fluff garment. I finished my Bella blocking while I was in the States, so I've got that on. I used 1 single strand of fluff for the entire pattern. So I've got Cinema, the red up here, and I have English Rose, which is the dusty pink. And I love it. I especially love it now that I've blocked it. I went for sort of the 3/4 length sleeve.
Yeah.
I didn't do it quite as long as yours, like a full bracelet length, but
No, but that
I thought
works
this
with the crop
it
and
works for the crop. Yeah, I stayed pretty cropped.
the crops, yeah.
But I'm also, I think I have to weigh it. But I think I used less than 4 skeins.
Yes.
So
Probably.
it's under 200 grams.
Yeah.
for
so
the sweater.
again, a very light, easy to wear.
Very light, very easy to wear.
And it all worked out in the end after
yeah.
the sleeve sort of
Oh yes.
sleeve
I don't
discussion.
think I talked about that.
Well, there was a bit of a
Well,
sleeve discussion, but once you've done one of Anne's patterns, you get to know the sleeve, I think. Well,
Yes.
I'm hopeful for my next
Well,
one.
this was my first. No, actually, it's not true. I'm doing Badger and Bloom, but that's a yoke.
That's a yoke, but this with her front and back yoke and sleeve construction, because she does the short rows on the sleeve, and you don't really know that's
Yeah.
coming until it comes.
Yes.
And then that makes it fit so well.
Yes.
But the armhole opening looks ginormous.
Yeah, my armhole opening gave me a panic attack. Basically, I've talked about before, my row gauge tends to be really tight.
Yeah.
And I didn't want this sitting up here, and I also, I didn't want the sleeve to be all the way up here. So I added a bunch of extra rows. I thankfully had Susan's, the version she had already made, so I'm pointing over there because it's hanging on the wall, to go by and measure. And so in making it, doing lots of extra rows,
Yes.
I had, my armhole is actually it was down by my waist.
But it's
worked.
Works with the sweater. That's the way.
Trust the
pattern. Trust the pattern. Trust the pattern. And read the pattern. Because
it's really helpful.
She doesn't do German short rows.
No, she does not.
Something else.
That's also how I ended up redoing it.
I threw that bit out this morning. It was downstairs.
Oh, was it still?
The bit from the plane. I just put it in the bin.
Yeah. So I'm really pleased with that. And
good.
I could definitely see doing another one of these.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm already thinking of the Nebula by Andrea Mowry.
Oh, yeah.
We saw a few of those, and I'm not sure about the big curve. I might just go straight across the high-low, or a little bit of high-low, but not massive. So that's another one thinking to get on maybe before. It might go quickly. I think it would go quite quickly.
I think it would go quite quickly.
So just colour choice, but get my whips done.
Shall we get into our West Coast adventure?
Oh, yes. It was great.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah.
So we flew out to Seattle for Flock.
I got an upgrade. Premium economy.
That was
some
great.
Advantages to traveling solo, or pretending you're traveling solo anyway.
Yes.
And that was great. It was really comfortable, and super comfortable, and got there, and first thing we did is go to the mall. Yay!
Yes, because we landed much earlier than we thought.
We did.
I think we landed about 11 West Coast time, and we couldn't check into the Airbnb until 3.
Yeah, and we were hungry.
And we were starving.
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and there was a mall close by, so we were just suddenly in an American shopping mall.
Yeah.
And they're all the same.
They're all the same. Wherever you are.
Yeah. It's a very familiar feeling.
It was also air conditioned.
Yes.
It was quite hot when we got there.
It was quite warm.
By the time we picked up the car, we were quite hungry. So off we went. Carmen took us to the mall, nearly had us killed on an intersection with somebody hooting at us.
Yeah, that guy got mad.
He got mad. He was mad.
He was so mad at me.
Got through that and had a big bowl of ramen, which was perfect.
It was excellent and the most expensive ramen we've ever had.
In the mall.
Oh my God. I forgot how
Still reeling. It was quite expensive. Everything was expensive.
Yeah.
We found. But anyway.
That's all right.
We realised how cheap food is, or reasonable food is here. Not cheap.
No, I mean, because the
cheap,
UK food prices have gone up loads in the last 2 years, but compared to the US, and then tipping, right? So you get
the extra on top.
There's 15 to 20% on top.
That adds a bit.
And anyway, it was really good.
It was yummy, and that set us up for checking in and getting in.
And falling asleep.
Which we did get in early, didn't we?
We did get in a bit early.
Yeah.
We had an adventure at the Amazon Fresh supermarket.
Oh, yes, that was it.
It was nearby. Those aren't here in the UK. So that was... There's Athena walking by. Okay.
Option of paying with your palm of your hand. I like that.
Yeah, we did not do
Check
that.
into your Prime account.
Yes.
Just pay. Off it goes.
Yeah.
And it was quick. They were really helpful.
They were really helpful.
Really helpful.
We were too tired to really understand what was happening, but we got discounts for no reason.
For everything.
So yay, discounts.
Yay. That was fun.
And then the boys arrived.
Yep.
Max and Vincent came out from Montreal. Thursday we had a day off. And then Friday was setup day.
It was. That was a busy day.
That was a busy day.
Yeah, that had its moments.
It did.
Of excitement.
Its moments.
I was a bit oblivious to it all, but I was like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
I mean, it always is fine.
Got all the yarn on the grid wall.
All the yarn arrived and was available.
I mean, it was that. I have to say, going back to Flock, shout out to the organisers because boy, oh boy, was it well organised and everything showed up.
Yep.
Anything you need help with, they were there to help.
They were absolutely there to help.
Do you need this? Do you need the pallet? Do you need me to move that? Do you want the trolley?
They seemed so relaxed.
And they were just relaxed.
They were
very West Coast vibe, chilled.
It was amazing.
We got all the yarn out.
Yeah. We set up grid wall, which none of us use very often. We'd been loaned the grid wall, which was so kind.
Very generous, yes.
And but we don't usually set up, so we just made it a bit heavy and it started falling over on us.
It did. It's
okay. Fine. We fixed it.
Okay, we fixed it with weights and things, and
mostly Vincent fixed
fixed it. But we had suggestions.
I at that point did not. I was like,
go to the hardware store, get something heavy.
Yeah.
Which you did.
Was that my suggestion?
I don't know. I don't know whose suggestion.
But
anyway, it worked.
It worked. Everything was still standing the next morning, and then, oh my!
Oh, it was like someone set a gun, started a pistol.
It was like the start of a marathon, where everybody's like.
Well, I didn't realize we were at the door.
I didn't know that either.
You didn't know that either, right? So we were sort of, it felt like we were down one end.
Yeah, I thought
sort
so.
of at the far end. And then the next thing we knew, they just were all coming in the door to us.
Yes.
It was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
After pins and bags and yarn.
Yes, Max had designed in a super cute illustration and had put it on a pin and a bag just for flock, and none of us realized how popular it was going to be. It is really cute. But we sold out of that by like 2:00?
Yeah.
On the Saturday, which we weren't expecting at all.
Yeah.
And I have done, this was like your second show.
I didn't really work at
you came to
the other one
last year to Rhinebeck.
Yeah, but I didn't really work. But I was aware of it.
Yes.
Obviously, I was in the background. But.
So this was, I don't know, like the 20th show I've done, probably.
Yeah. Was it? Yeah, okay.
At least. And I have never been so busy.
At a show?
Yeah.
At Saturday?
Yeah. But, and for that extended period of time.
The whole day.
I mean, it didn't stop until after 4 p.m.
No. It was just...
That was absolutely intense.
Just go. Yeah.
And I will say, everybody was really friendly and kind, and there was no jostling and hustling, because I've done some very, very busy shows before. And when they get that busy, I've been in, like there's an hour or two that are that intense, but people get really anxious and grabby and kind of like, you know that scene from Friends where they go wedding dress shopping?
Excuse me! Oh, dear lady! Go!
It can be like that. And I think it's because it's usually in like a smaller space. This was
it was huge.
It was huge. There was so much aisle space. Everybody had a big booth. It was like 100-foot ceilings.
Yeah, and there was space outside to
light.
Chill and to hang out. And there were classes somewhere else. I don't even know where.
I don't know where the classes
another
were.
Floor somewhere or something. And so it was very spacious, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it was busy.
It was very busy.
You and I had somebody with us like that
the
whole day.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there wasn't an option for lunch.
No, we didn't eat till
we
late.
went out very late. But so that was and it was, but they were so nice. I met so many nice people.
Yeah,
Everybody
many
was
nice
so
people.
Nice. And it was great. It was great.
And
it really was.
It was really fun to. I mean, it's like the shop, but on drugs. Really helping to get people, people choose their patterns, and
their colours,
yarn
and
choices,
the patterns. So very quickly sold out of blue.
Yes, we sold out of blue. Susan's sweater was like the hit of the weekend.
I was trying on, getting their friends over.
Yes,
and it was quite fun, and that was great. And the next level we had one or two customers bought a load. I mean,
I can't wait to see what they make.
And the thing also for Flock was like, if you're thinking everything you want to go to the Pacific Northwest, like tie it in with a holiday. Like, there were people who brought their families from the center of the states, from Florida, from Midwest. People came from all over, and that surprised me as well. I was like, wow, that's. I mean, obviously Rhinebeck is a big attraction, and people come from all over. But this was surprising, and on holiday with their family, and tying in the visit to Flock, and then doing a trip around, because there's so much to see and do. It's a great. It was a bit smoky when we were there.
It was a little bit
forest
fiery.
We couldn't see the mountains as much as we might have, but But no, it was great. But we didn't notice because we were inside all day anyway. But no, it was, and that was interesting that you could easily do that, not just go that far for a show. But it's a great show. It was a great show. I mean, we didn't see anything of classes or talks.
No, and we
anything.
didn't. So we were both on a high and completely knackered after Saturday.
Oh yeah.
It was that, like adrenaline all day.
Yeah.
Like it was great, but now I'm super tired. So then on Sunday morning, before it opened, you and I went a little bit mad.
It was Sunday morning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it Sunday morning or did we do it Saturday morning?
No, we did it Sunday morning.
Do any of it
No, we did no shopping on Saturday.
Oh, we didn't.
We did all of our shopping
So
Sunday
we were
morning.
still a bit of adrenaline high,
Yeah.
I think, because I don't really remember what we did. Except Carmen might have a special little selection here. Let's see then. What did we actually do?
I didn't realize how crazy we went until I got home and unpacked everything.
I know. I was the same. I know. But it was a two-stop thing though.
Yes.
Craziness.
So
the first thing was Flock.
Because it's like the home of Spincycle, really.
Yes.
Spincycle's in Bellingham, Washington. So
up the road.
There were lots and lots of vendors who had their Spincycle custom colorway there, which you don't get to see that many in one place. We had our next level. I don't even think we ended up seeing all of them, but we basically decided that we needed one of everything.
We did. We did.
Let me...
For no apparent reason whatsoever, no plan,
Other
no
than
nothing.
they're beautiful, which is enough of a reason.
They are absolutely beautiful.
I just have to be careful. I have to make sure I pull out the right ones.
Yeah, so we managed to just go to each of the stands before it opened and have a little look-see.
Because that is one of the nice things about being a vendor, is you get to...
a little mooch at about 9:45 before everyone comes in.
Yep, that one.
Goodness me. Do you know which shops as well?
Yes, because it's on the label.
It's on the label. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it on our next level then? Yes.
Yes,
It must
yeah,
be.
it is.
Okay, excellent.
Okay,
It's such a great idea.
It is a great idea.
And I think that idea Kate mentioned of doing something with the...
Oh, yeah, she mentioned that on Andrea's podcast
last week, that doing something with this special custom colors.
Yeah, I would love it. I think that sounds like fun. I'm like, I can participate.
Where'd you find that? You
I
didn't
didn't find that. I was gifted this.
You were
so I thought I
gifted
would do
that?
a little shout out
Oh.
because Brooklyn Tweed came by.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I remember now. Yes.
Brooklyn Tweed wasn't at the event, but I had talked to them about maybe stopping by in Portland, but we weren't going to make it. But they did bring me some skeins of Imbue to have a little play with.
Nice.
It is really squishy.
I can see a hat.
Yeah, this is the Sport.
What is that?
It's American Merino.
Merino. Okay,
Yeah, it's worsted spun.
It's got that roundedness like the other ones, isn't it?
So I'm going to have a little play with this. And, maybe
Soft.
it'll be on the shelves at some point.
Soft.
We'll see.
Nice.
All right, but here's the rundown.
Oh, you did go.
I went no less mad than you. So we started with the two that Spincycle launched at the event.
I remember now.
Shopping amnesia.
Yes.
This is True Crime,
When you pay the bill.
which is a limey green. There's dark blues. There's grays. There's a little bit of pink in there. There's some brown. It's a bit moody. It has a nice pop to it.
There's a lot to that one.
Yeah, this is...
more than I thought now seeing it again. Yes.
Yeah.
I think I did get one. Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did.
I did. Max got some and he's already knit a design.
Yes,
with
I know.
Opus. Yay!
Yes.
So I'm very excited about that.
It looks good. I saw the whole thing yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's good.
Will I want to knit it?
Definitely.
Okay.
You will definitely want to
Can I
know.
test?
I will. Let's ask him.
We'll let him know. I want to test. Max, I want to test it, please. Thank you.
So this is going to be a permanent in their collection, and I have ordered it for the shop already.
Fantastic.
So I will share. We can share the love.
Amazing.
And then the other one they launched is called Straw Baby,
Yes, that was fun as well.
which is like a strawberry kind of color. Your classic. What this reminds me of is the little shortcake character.
Yeah.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No.
What was that called? It was like a toy in my childhood. She had a little shortcake, something or other.
Strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake.
That was her name.
There she was.
She had like a little dress
Oh, yes.
in these colors.
Mm-hmm.
It is corals, lavender, lime green. Very pretty.
All the colours.
So this is from Spincycle. And then I've had my eye on Eventide from Black Mountain for a very long time.
Yes.
You also got these.
But mine are very different. Yes.
Yeah, these are all very different. So I have two super different skeins.
I did cruise around there on
Eventide.
Saturday because I knew I wanted Eventide. Because I had one and I thought I wanted two more. But then she put new ones out on Sunday. So
I do think
all of those.
I'm like, because I got two really different ones. Did I buy one of these as a gift and forgot who I?
You did.
But I don't
I
remember
think
for
you
who.
did. I don't know.
I don't know. So sorry, whoever I had.
Black Mountain.
Black
She was
Mountain.
lovely. It was so
Aw,
nice to
Danny's
meet her.
so sweet.
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd gotten to talk to her for more than like 2 minutes.
Yeah, she was. She came over a couple of times. Nice to talk to her. Yeah. So we got those.
So there's that, and then the unicorn plus across the universe from Do You Knit?
Do You Knit? Yeah, double.
Yeah. So this is a crossover of their two custom colorways. It's purples, it's pinks, it's blues, it's all the things you expect from Do You Knit.
Absolutely.
It's also very Carmen.
Did I get that as well? Maybe I did.
Yes, you did.
Okay. I better have another look at home. I just put it away in the bags I packed it in. So,
and then
I see a sort of pinky purpley something happening here, maybe.
Well, these are also quite different.
Yes.
So
and these are Lamb and Kid.
This is from Lamb and Kid. Theirs is called Pinky Swear, and I got a skein of Dream State.
Get Dream State
because I love this pink and gray.
Yes.
And then I got a dyed in the wool that looks similar to the Dream State. Like those are very similar in color. And then I got one that was much more bright pink coral. And yeah, absolutely no idea.
Rifling through it all.
So that was the Spincycle we got.
That was.
At
Goodness.
Flock. And then late in the day on Sunday, we got influenced by a customer.
We did. Yeah, she came along, was wearing a normal. She wasn't even wearing it. She just had it over her shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
She wasn't wearing it.
She was ready to go to the airport. She had like
she
a
was
suitcase with her. And
That was Sunday, wasn't it?
That was Sunday.
Sunday afternoon. And she was wearing a Norma. And not wearing, had it around her neck. And we said, what is that? What's the yarn? I felt it. And it was just so soft.
Beautiful.
But really still had structure.
Yeah, very different from what's used in the original Norma.
Yes. And so she said, well, it's Todd worsted from the Lamb and Kid. So we looked at each other and said, right, we're going over there
We're going to go see what that's all about. So we didn't know about this yarn. And it is a 65 yak, 35 cashmere, 100 gram for worsted weight yarn.
Yeah.
It is very, very lovely.
So we both got grey sweater quantity
or
a Norma.
Yes. Grey was kind of the only color they had left in sweater quantities.
Sunday afternoon. It obviously been round. But hers was in a beige, wasn't it, with the browny beige. It was lovely. So. Yeah, I can't remember the other colours. A pale blue and something else.
And then, so this is just for the main.
So we couldn't get didn't get enough to do the stripes.
No, because we'll do some stripes
we'll do something
in other things.
Here, something here.
So,
So that was, And my plan had been to buy only accessories.
Did you buy any accessories?
Little things. I bought a pin at Spincycle.
Oh, about this.
I think. Oh, yes, we bought that.
We bought it.
We did buy that.
Which is from Love at Amsterdam.
We have the same taste, really. We don't come back with anything, but, and come back
I'm
and go,
basically showing
I don't
off
want that.
Yeah.
It's we're just giving each other time to choose the one we want. And it's a Spincycle or the...
So cute.
So that's from Do We Knit, wasn't it? Love at Amsterdam or something.
I do love their bright colors.
Yeah,
and
they're fun
it's
painted
like
on.
Cool shape.
Yeah, useful shape,
Yes,
I think.
a useful shape.
For travel. Haven't used mine yet, but...
No, I mean, mine's in my bag of stash at the moment.
Yeah, so that was the addition to stash.
From Flock.
From Flock, yes.
And then what did we do on the Monday?
So after all the excitement of Flock, we had an even more exciting day because we were invited to go to Spincycle in Bellingham, Spincycle HQ.
Yeah, not just the shop they have there,
No,
Spincycle
not
Supply
just the shop,
Co.,
but
but the mill.
So that'd been on the, but I think we forgot. Well, we didn't forget. We just had a moment of the collecting. So so then we Carmen very kindly drove us up to Bellingham, which is just north of Seattle. It was about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Not, it's not an hour and a half, 2 hours. And the completely opposite direction of where we're actually going for the next.
Totally worth it, though.
No, it was totally worth it because we're actually going to Oregon, which was
South.
a couple hours in the other direction.
Well, like 6 hours in the other direction.
Yeah. Well, 6 hours in the end, yes. So we arrived there around lunchtime there. There's lovely spread of food.
Oh, yeah. Like,
it was
really
so
amazing.
Nice.
Nibbles and
But at
the
first
cake
we
was
couldn't
fantastic.
really, we sort of drove past it. And
We
It was on
did.
like a trading estate, like an estate, industrial estate, we'd call it here. And anyway, then we realised, we saw Vincent and Max and their red truck.
Yeah.
They had to rent a red truck.
The giant red pickup truck they had to rent.
And so we saw them and we knew where we were. So,
Yeah.
and that
But we
was-
were expecting, I was expecting like a giant building.
I think I was. I didn't know what to expect, but I was expecting something quite large and noisy and
Yes.
busy.
Yes.
And it was bijou and calm.
Very calm. Very organized.
Super organized.
Like so organized.
Yeah, just not an inch of wasted space.
No.
I was telling someone about it last night, and everything had a place, and there was nothing. There was no stuff anywhere. Well, maybe
It is efficient.
yeah,
It
and
is
was just the production.
beautiful.
Everything just goes from one thing to the next, and the people working there just quietly working away. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and they weren't anywhere near close to full capacity.
No,
there,
no,
but
they
were
turned it
running
down, but you could hear things running.
machines.
And to think of all that comes out of it, it is
Yeah.
amazing
It's-
what they're doing.
It's a micro mill.
It is
really.
yeah, well,
It's
yeah.
not a
and
full scale mill by any means.
no, but they're doing what they're doing, and they're doing
They
amazing.
are doing it extraordinarily well. It was extremely impressive. Also, the dye pots,
Yeah, they were just big pots.
but not even that big.
No, they weren't that big.
Like, that's what we'd
Yeah.
make soup in for a retreat.
Yeah. I mean, they were big. Their pots were a bit bigger than that.
They were
You
big.
didn't see Kate put her little boy in it. And
Oh, no, I missed that.
yeah,
Did she really?
he was there. He's sitting.
So they do hold a toddler.
They told
these
a toddler-sized pot. But and the dyes were there, and the pots were there, and the drying room was there, and nothing. There was no space for anything. The sorting table had beautiful cakes and food on it, which we indulged in, which was rather lovely. And
we had a little competition amongst ourselves, Susan and I, named that colorway. Fiber. So they had the dyed fiber drying.
Yeah, if you saw the
And
Instagram post, yeah.
We were, challenging each other to decide figure out
weren't
which.
all labeled or what was in the spools.
We did very well.
We
though.
did very well. Yeah.
I think there was only
We
one.
know it too well.
We really
I know it way too well. Danger. And then Carmen saw a box. And it was labeled seconds. And
I'm not sure we should tell this part, but yes.
no. Anyway.
We
needless
picked
to
up
say,
some yarn.
We picked up some more yarn. And
I don't know if I can show that because one of them's not even a released color yet.
no, then you can't.
Okay, I won't.
No. So, but we did.
I got yarn.
We did add.
We add to our stash.
To our stash from the mill, and then
We went to the store.
and then we went to the store. By which point, I was completely overwhelmed and walking around in this beautiful store. And I regret that I didn't look at the nocturne more closely.
Yes, so
I really do, because
Well-
I thinking about it after. I know you were really looking at it, and
in fairness, Max was kind of taking up things that he was like, "This is my happy place.
he
This
was
nocturne.
just standing there.
Don't
yes.
get in
Yeah,
my."
so yeah, and I had bought some before, which I have in my stash, which I thought was going to be different than what it is. I'm sure I'll find something for it, or maybe I'll give it to Max. He'd probably like it. It's a bit green for me.
Yeah.
But having seen these now. I regret that, but maybe I'll have another chance one day.
I'm sure you will. Because Nocturne is one that they don't wholesale.
Yes.
They only sell directly, and it's I think it's all their colorways, but on a gray base yarn.
Yes.
So everything's just a bit moodier. Like this is Witching Hour, which is dark grays, purpley maroonies. Very brown kind of in person. And then I got Triple Threat here, which is purpley with some gold and gray. I have no idea what I'm doing this with.
You're making a cowl, aren't you?
Well, I've got that in the bag there.
Oh.
And this is Flashback, which this one I think is a little bit out of my normal color zone, but it's so pretty.
It is pretty.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, so I just didn't inspect them that closely. And now I've been influenced by the lady that always holds it with mohair. And she's using it as the base in a sweater, like the main color.
Okay.
Something like that. What's that one called?
I don't know. That is... This is Night Watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, with a dark mohair. And so it makes a lovely base to the color work. And now I've seen that. And I was like, got home and went, should have.
So I have these three, which Danny picked out for himself.
Very nice.
For me to make a cowl for him. Yeah. His reward for joining the Knitty adventure.
The knitting adventure.
And being subject to all the Knitty chat for the weekend.
Yes.
But this is, I don't know what these colors are, and I don't want to pull the tags out because otherwise I won't remember which one's which. But so there's like a golden color, a bluey color, and a brownie. So kind of like a very dark shades of Earth.
Yes.
On.
So that's another time. And I got a couple of skeins of Dream State to put towards a night shift, big.
Yes.
Big.
And for something else, didn't you? You got Dream State. Weren't you on the mission for?
No.
To go with your Opia for something.
I didn't get any.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't find any.
Oh, okay.
No, that comes later in the whips. But I didn't get the Dream State there. But I bought the yarn at Flock. But yeah, I was happy with mine, and I'm thinking it was Kaylee that said, she's just collecting and then going to make it when she's ready. And I think that's a good idea. But then I was torn. I didn't want it in a worsted weight. But then having seen one in a worsted weight, I thought, it actually really is quite nice.
It is really nice. Kieran has one. He made it years ago, and it's really nice.
Yeah. So I think in sport it might just be a bit flippy floppy, not so structured. I think the roundness of the Dream State holds the pattern nicely. So that's the plan, because I've got lots of bits at home from other projects. So I'm going to try and work it all in and get going on that one day.
Okay.
Anyway, so it was all very successful.
So
and we also sold a lot of yarn.
Yeah, we sold a lot of yarn.
Just tell them. We sold out of the Glacial Depths.
We sold out of
Fluff went with crazy.
Yeah.
The Opus and Origin were really popular. Sweater quantities going.
Some great projects.
And great projects. And enough time, as you say, there were any sharp elbows, so we had time to chat. That was different to the one around Rhinebeck. It was pretty, it was just like,
that was
here's the money,
frenzied.
the first day anyway, or the day and the night before as well. So that had a bit more frenzy to it.
Yeah.
And it was restocking but no, this, and it went really well. Yeah,
it did.
So, for everybody, I think. All the vendors, I think.
I think the feedback was, I think, that everybody did well, which is, that's what you want out of an event like that. You want everyone to do well. You want all the customers to have a good time, to find things that they really love, and you want the vendors to make money, because that is, at the end of the day, what.
Such a great space.
Yeah.
Such a great space.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never, something like that just doesn't exist in Europe.
No, it was lovely. It's a vibe.
Yeah, it is a vibe.
It's a West Coast vibe, definitely. Yeah.
And how did you enjoy being back on the West Coast?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Then I went after we went to Bellingham. Then Carmen drove me down to Oregon, where I went to a place called Hood River, which is a little town just on the Columbia River. on the border between Washington's the states there, Oregon's there, and yeah, a small town. Just visit with a friend who was staying down there, and I went. We had fruit. We had fruit from the little farms all around. Are these farms with fruit?
Did you
and
know that
vegetables.
before I sent you the message from my mother?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I said,
Did I know? Oh, I did. I only knew because my friend told me.
Okay,
but
so
by
she
then,
knew.
She knew. Yes,
Okay,
she
great.
knew. She knew because she said, "Oh, we'll drive out to the farms and
Yeah.
see." And I probably should have known because it's like the interior of British Columbia,
Yeah.
which is all fruit as well and wine. But you're not as far in as maybe you have to go in the interior. You have to go quite a few hours. That was only an hour. It was only an hour and a bit to Portland. So blueberries that actually taste like blueberries, and nectarines that are ripened almost on the tree and picked. And then the highlight was a sweet corn, which was just.
yeah.
We bought half a dozen and I just sat down and my friend said, "Do you know, we used to just pick it in the garden and they were 8 kids, so 10 of them. So they would have to go out and pick like 50 cobs." Unless you're American or North American, you won't understand. It's like, how can anyone eat that much corn? Anyway, and it was same in my house. Like I can remember my brother and I both eating a dozen.
Yeah.
Like I could just, and that was no problem.
Yeah.
So it's completely different to the sweet corn we have in England. That, as I always say, is the stuff we feed to cows, or the animals, the bright yellow stuff that's hard and starchy. And so it's sweet corn and it's sweet and it's, you just boil it.
So delicious.
And people don't know that you boil it.
No.
You boil it 10 minutes, butter and salt, job done. And we did have some left over for the next night, but that was just take me back right to my childhood. It was so nice. So that was a great thing, and the land of coffees as well.
So many coffees.
Wine, but we didn't get to a winery. We just hung out. We hung out a lot and walked around. And I didn't get to the yarn shop in time. There was a little yarn shop. I met her actually at the show and said I was coming down, but when I got there it was shut, so I missed that. But yeah, it was great. And then up to Vancouver, a little walk around memory lane, and saw some friends, and went to Granville Island where there was some amazing weaving and dyeing. Like, they were really into the natural dyes. A whole shop, just fabrics, all the merchant mill stuff, all the dye pots, all the dyes you can make and mix and match, and there was 3 fibre places, and the other one was a bit more of a collective. And
it's a crafty place, the Pacific Northwest.
And a bookshop, and and I had a great walk around the city, and so all the changes, lots of changes since I lived there many years ago. But it was fun. It was great. I was ready to come home, but it was a great all round. So thank you for asking me.
Of course.
Because I did complete all the things I wanted to. And,
Excellent.
And the show, I had a great time at the show. So yeah, it was really good.
Well, thanks for coming with. It was a good time.
It
for
was
sure.
a good time. It was great. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I spent 2 weeks with my mom in Redmond after we dropped you off at Hood River. Did I tell you that it took us like 3 more hours to get there?
I did wonder.
Yeah.
Wiggly windly in the dark?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be.
I had to stop several times because I was so tired.
So tired.
And I didn't want
I
to
was a
die
bit concerned.
on
That's
the
why I
mountain
thought
highway.
maybe you should have stayed over.
It was fine. I mean,
Was
we
that
got
the
there.
only way? There's a way down to Eugene and then as well.
But that is also
it's the same.
you got to go over a mountain.
You got to go over the mountain.
You got to go over a mountain.
I did have a quick glance at the road. How was Danny? Was he okay with it?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, so dark, and that's really dark, isn't it?
It is very dark. There's like no streetlights. It was fine. Like I wasn't about to drive off the side of the road or anything.
No.
But
That's a lot of driving.
it was a lot of driving.
in that car.
Yeah, that was. You know what? I'm just gonna say that a Dodge Hornet is the worst car I have ever driven.
That's awful.
I do not recommend. Do you know I returned it then to the rental car place, and they said, "What the hell is this?" And I said, "Oh, they gave it to me in Seattle." And they were like, "I've never even heard of a Hornet."
Oh,
And I was like, "Well, have fun with it. It's a terrible car."
SUV.
Yeah. Not even like
Not even close.
no, not even close.
Anyway, it was
Anything
very
else?
cramped with suitcases
Yeah.
and people.
But we had the smoke sort of the first week. Didn't do a ton of like outdoorsy stuff.
Yeah.
But did go to Eugene for a couple of days.
Nice.
Basically, like, ate my way around town.
Yeah.
From all my favorite places.
Still there? All still there?
Still there, yeah. We went to the restaurant that now occupies where my parents had a restaurant.
Yes. Yeah.
So what was like French cuisine fine dining is now a burger joint.
Yeah.
It has been for a long time now, but it's interesting because they've like torn down some walls.
Oh, and so it doesn't feel the same.
Oh God, no, it's like a totally different vibe.
Yeah.
But they ended up seating us. We were kind of sitting in the hallway, and I was like, why haven't you put a... Like, I just didn't understand some of it.
Okay.
But they were very sweet.
Nice. You said who you were.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, because I also like burst into tears.
Yeah. Random. This woman
Sorry,
comes
I'm
in,
fine.
bursts into tears.
And our server, though, she was like, oh my God, I used to love Chanterelle. And they actually still have a
They
sign
have
up
I saw
on the
it
wall,
Instagram.
which is very cute.
Personal Instagram,
Yeah.
No, it was, very poignant, I'm sure.
Yeah. And Eugene has changed loads. They've, so Eugene downtown when I was growing up was like really empty. The businesses were all really struggling down there. Nobody really went to downtown. It was like the era of the shopping mall. So I lived really close to Valley River Center, which was kind of the big shopping mall at the time. Like that was close enough for me and my sister to ride our bike there when we were teenagers. Like it was very close.
Hang out at the mall.
Yeah, hang out at the
mall
mall.
Rats.
And I remember my whole childhood being about like regenerating downtown and how do we do this, and they've done it.
And it worked.
It is amazing.
Wow.
I'm sure there's some people living there who will disagree with this sentiment, but as someone who's come back, and I hadn't been there in
Nice.
7 years at least, and the last few times I've been, I hadn't gone like sort of hanging out in downtown. Like they have done it, and I think they've done it really well. It's beautiful. There are thriving businesses down there.
That's great.
They still have the Saturday market, which we went to, got totally rained on. But it was really, really nice to see that they had accomplished this thing that had been talked about. I mean, it takes years, right?
Yeah.
But
they had a vision and a plan, and it worked.
It made me think about some of the things they talk about in this city.
Yes.
And I was like, this has been done well.
Yeah. And there were people out.
There were people. There was
that was the thing in Vancouver.
Yeah.
I mean, in the downtown, yes, lots of tourists, lots of people out. But I'd forgotten how quiet the neighborhoods are and the little areas of shops. I mean, just so few people compared to here.
Yeah.
There are people, but just it's not like where you're always meeting somebody, which I like.
Yes. Yeah, I like that
I live
as
here.
well. Yeah. So that's our holidays. Would you like to talk about? I didn't bring my whip because I forgot to fix my sofa, and I'm wearing my latest FO. So this is now the Susan show,
Well,
where we will see all of the lovely things that Susan is working on and has finished.
Before we left, I got going on my Rhinebeck sweater because we're going to Rhinebeck.
Rhinebeck.
So we've not gone anywhere for a long time, or not too far. I'm only transatlantic anyway. And I finished it just after I got back.
Yep.
And I'm really happy with it. It fits.
Yes, it looks gorgeous.
In spite of my being unsure. And so I used Walcot Yarns Origin for the in Wild River for the ribbing and the cuff, and fluff and opia. So I used fluff as one of the contrasts to just make it a lighter sweater. It's more wearable, which I'm looking like I might have to wear it soon. So I'm really pleased with the way it worked out.
But you stuck with Dream State, the thicker of the
Dream
Spincycles,
State, the thickest. Yes, and it's I wanted it a bit moody and subtle, and so opposite to some people's, but I won't mention anyone. And when we're all together, it's going to be amazing because I'll be the moody one, and and I'm really pleased with how it worked out. And the pattern is great. It's quite easy to memorize, and I've seen on Instagram some people sort of make them into crews, but I like the
neckline.
I like
a lot.
the neckline a lot, and I wasn't sure about the extra little bit of rib because it was a little bit boat neck, but it just finishes it. It's only like 2 or 3 rows and then a tubular bind off. So it just very neat.
Yeah, very neat.
Very neat. Oh, we got these little labels.
Yes.
For Black Mountain Round's my Rhinebeck sweater, so I need to sew that in.
You need to sew that
and
in.
I need to put one in this one so I know which is the back and the front, because I have to hold it up all the time to check. So yeah, so I was happy I finished that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd been planning another to start, which...
Do you want to show off that?
Oh yes. Oh yeah, I finished that. Yes, I did finish that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was supposed to be finished on the airplane. I'm not going to see it against me. It's just going to look like lines. Matchy.
Matchy. This is the Moon Bumps shawl by Max,
Yeah.
the knitter.
So I
at that
had
tassel.
planned to finish it on the plane and have it ready for the show. And I was frantically knitting when I was there. And then I realized I just was not going to get there. I was not going to get it done. So I parked it for a bit again and finished it when I got home. And it's perfect for you with that.
Yeah.
And blocked beautifully. Because you're never sure when it's a shawl like that, a scarf like that. Blocked out perfectly, sewed in all my ends. Not quite, but anyway, that'll get tucked in. So it's a great knit, broken up with a spin cycle. You don't know what's going to happen. And then at the end, you just meditate and do all your sewing and make your tassels.
And you make your tassels.
So yeah, so it's a good one.
It is.
And that was
you've done it
popular.
in glacial depths with Next Level.
Next Level.
It's one skein of Spincycle, isn't it?
One.
And two fluff.
Two fluff and one Next Level, absolutely.
It's interesting because this is knit at a denser gauge. It looks like a different color.
It does look like a different
but
color,
it's not.
It's not.
At all.
Yeah.
This is quite warm.
It is quite warm. I'm having a bit of a moment where I want to knit all the knits. I'm trying to just be monogamous, but I've got so
How's that going for you?
Not going at all. But I do make myself just sort of stay on one thing and try, and I'm really having fun. I'm having a lot of fun. So particularly because I'm doing, I didn't know I liked colour work this much, but I think it's the yarn. I'm sure it's the yarn, but it's also the pattern. So this is my Whippy Whip, which is going to get finished. So this is the Joe by Sophie O'Shera. I don't know how she says her name, but O-C-H-E-R-A. I'm losing stitches because I didn't put my little endy bits on, which I have loads of just where they are. And I'm doing that in Walcot Yarns Opus. So soft.
This is so lovely.
And fluff as all the contrast.
Yeah.
Because it was a mohair, held double, I think.
Yeah.
And I looked on Ravelry. This is the ones that I probably looked on Ravelry the most of projects to see how people do their colors and things.
You are using 8 different colors in here, right? Or 7?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, I think. I think it's 7.
Plus the white.
Plus the white,
Yeah, so it's 8 colors that she's got going on in here.
So, there's one in particular that I'm kind of looking at a lot and getting that
color
sort of
inspo.
vibe. And then this amazing, I was telling Carmen, this amazing little detail on this show visible decrease cuff, which just goes with a poofy sleeve, and it's going to be amazing. And I just did that last night or yesterday, and I just need to sew that and just really, really, the decrease on either side of your. I sort of explained to Carmen, it's kind of the opposite of a raglan. From the top, you're decreasing, so you get a raglan sort of look thing about it. And just ribbing and one sleeve left, and the chart's really easy, and I just write my colours against the chart, and off I go, and it just flies. It really does fly on a.
So let's talk about the gauge on this for a second, because
let's talk.
It is knit at a worsted weight gauge of what, 22 stitches?
20
stitches.
I think maybe it's 22. Hang on. No, I don't have the actual page here because I try and just carry the pages I need. But I've got about 22. But I'm doing it on, which is unusual so this, I'm doing on a 4, and I'm doing my sleeves on a 4.5.
How are you?
Yeah, even with the Opus.
Okay.
So, and it seems to be happy, 4 for
It'll
opus.
bloom.
It'll bloom. The fluff's very happy. I tried a 3.5, and I just felt the fluff was a bit too dense.
Yeah, you did quite a bit of swatching.
I did quite a bit of swatching.
Because the pattern calls for a sport weight, but knit's gauge is more like a worsted weight.
It is, so I was a bit confused.
So Susan did a lot of swatching. We had a long conversation about it.
I talked to everyone about it, blah, blah, and there we are. So I'm very happy, and I think it's going to fit very nicely. Thought it might be a bit small, but I think it's going to stretch and block, and it's going to be great.
It's going to be lovely. I also have a plan for that.
You also have a plan. You picked your colours.
I picked my colours, but I got to finish my framed first.
Anyway, so that's going to be finished by the weekend, I hope.
Of course.
I think. Maybe. Well, no, I'm working tomorrow, so maybe not. No, maybe not by the weekend. And then it was a few podcasts ago.
Oh, yeah.
I think. I was
many.
Back before we went away, I was slightly not bullied, but I was told I had to get back on my. What about your Rubinia Light? So then I had a look at it again, and I thought I'd made all these mistakes, and then
did you start this over from 0?
No.
Okay.
No, because I hadn't made, because I was counting in short row place, and I had less rows obviously than in the middle.
Yeah.
So then I worked out.
It's a pretty little stitch marker.
It's a pretty little stitch marker. So, and then, so that's my front. So, but I did change my needle size, but I don't think it's going to matter because it's only the first one that's in the tighter gauge. I like the looser gauge, actually. Slightly looser gauge. 3.75 actually now, not 3.5. And so...
and this is where Susan is headed with her...
Sort of, but we'd taken that one out, I decided.
Yeah.
We're sort of headed now.
Yeah, so she's doing a fade of like cream to bright pink in the stripes of the Rubinia.
So, and then I had but then I didn't realise that it's 4 stripes on the front and 5 on the back. So that threw me a bit to what to do. But I think, because my sleeve's only there, I think 5 and 5. I'm just going to do a baggy sleeve, a big sleeve, and baggy. And now
I don't feel like this is.
They don't know, and they're comfortable sleeves.
They are comfortable sleeves.
And then hopefully that will work. So I'm just going to get down to there, going around, try the sleeve out, and see how it works. And maybe a few more modifications on this. So it's taking a little bit more time, and also because I have to think about what I'm doing. I've written it down, and I've got my swatch.
Once you're in the round, though.
Once I'm in the round, did a big swatch about a year ago, probably a year and a half ago, actually. Anyway, so, but, very excited, want to get going on it again. So that's Spinny and a mohair, the Rubinia Light.
Yeah.
And that's definitely...
And you'll have good opportunity to get going on that.
When I finish the other one?
No, we can talk about that now.
Oh, yes.
But you have one more whip to show off.
I have an opportunity to do that. I will indeed. I have 2 more whips.
Oh, 2 more?
I have 2 more whips. So, I wanted to try, so I bought also at Flock some Spinster's Daughter worsted.
Ah, yes.
Just to try something else. That one. And...
So this is the Spincycle and Farmer's Daughter collaboration. It is Spincycle's spin of yarn, and then the Farmer's Daughter then dyes it.
Yeah. So, and there's and Spincycle and Farmer's Daughter have the Driftwood collection of lots of different sweaters. There's a cowl going on right now. I just fill in the form. I don't necessarily join the cowls, but anyway, I might. I don't know. I never know when they are or whatever. Anyway, so and so I'm doing the collected slip over, which is Tiff Nealon. I've never done one of her patterns, but so far, really,
I love her patterns. They're
just
great.
So clear. Boom, 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 and that's just the back yoke. I think started a little bit of yoke. I just had a little knit. The short rows got them.
Just a little taster knit.
Just a taster knit, and so it's a garter. Interrupted garter or something, makes little bumps of like little stripes of garter, sort of is that what's called? They're kind of like I-cords, but in garter stitch. And I've got some opia left from my framed, so I'm going to just put the opia with it, and then I've got some
petunia,
the
bright pink,
bright pink left in origin from something, probably the Sunday. Maybe no, I think it's before that I had it. And I've got some Pacific left over. I don't know what that's left over from. Anyway, or maybe I just had it. I think I had it maybe to make a hat, and I did make a hat. So I'm going to do some bright pops of stripes with the Moody Opia, and I think that'll do me.
Yeah, that'll be pretty.
I did look for some other dream state, but time to start using things up. I think I'm very happy about using things up. So that's just a slip over, a little cap sleeve, a little bit of. Never done this garter thing with the stripes before. Things like a traveler cowl, maybe a bit like that. I think it's one of those sort of patterns. So and then came to knit night, a cheeky cast on last night.
Oh yeah.
So not like I don't have enough to do, but hey ho, I cast on because I knew I'm going to have the opus left over because I wound 3 skeins for my sweater, and I'm probably not even going to use 2.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
I know.
That's
how
a
far
difference.
it goes.
Yeah, it goes for miles.
So, and with the colour work, I don't know, it just seems to go on forever. So I pulled this out of that one, and with some next level that we'd coveted at. Because we even had bags of our own yarn that was like,
this is the best we've ever seen.
We have to have this. And so
I mean, Beverly agreed. Because when I came back and unpacked it, she was like, "Can I have one from this bag?"
This is it's
a really blue
next level that I'm going to see how far that goes, and then either use it with something else or see what comes. So this is a little same pattern, frame your face, in the round, and I'm just doing it. I mean, I think it's going to be okay. It's going to block out. I'm just doing on some tiny needles here, just because it's easier to keep the stretch. I think she said a 16-inch, but I think it's smaller than that. But anyway,
that looks like a 9-inch.
No, maybe I need to go to 16. So anyway, having unpacked all the needles today and put them in the shop. The chow goo. No, not mine, but no.
I thought you organized your own needles.
No, I know what we have, and I know what they are, and I went through them all today and put them all in the system. So,
everybody's
we have needles for everything you want to knit, all your knits. And it was just I was out last night and I just a little cast on. But you always need a little portable one.
You do need a little portable
And I'm not a big sock knitter, but I'm thinking about it, trying again. But yeah, so this is just a little portable one in case I go anywhere in the next month before I go away. But hopefully just to, wear it with this and all the sweaters at Rhinebeck.
Something to go with your sweaters.
All the because you walk around and go, ooh, look at that sweater, ooh, look at that sweater. So yeah, so I think I'll have some Rhinebeck sweaters. Because I actually have 2 that I finished before.
Yeah, so I think your wardrobe, you could probably have some wardrobe changes.
I've got a weekend, I could bring one and change over, yeah. Depending on what everyone else is wearing.
I'm hoping to have at least one more.
Yes,
maybe
you will.
2.
I'm sure you will. Yeah. I'm sure you will. Yeah, so I'm busy. I'm really enjoying my knitting. And I had a bit of time after Seattle in Cornwall, so that was nice and got some knitting done.
Yeah.
Some swimming and just a bit of holiday. So that was good. So but it's the frenzy knitting when you want to do them all at once and you can't.
Well, yes, and this is what has kind of led us to an autumn knit along.
Yes, because focus. We need to focus.
Yeah, I mean, we have been, we had planned to do an autumn knit along, and then suddenly I realized this week that it is autumn.
It's autumn.
And we needed to get started on that immediately. So we are doing a knit along for Anne Wetzel. We're calling it the Anne Wetzel knit along. So any of her patterns, you can join us for. By the time this airs,
it will be out.
That'll all be released.
Well,
and such.
We're going to curate the patterns a little bit, aren't we?
Well, no, I mean, we have some suggestions, obviously.
Yeah.
But you can join using anything.
Because Anne uses a certain construction, I think, and she's a great designer. She's a designer by she did a design degree, I think, didn't she? Yeah. And so having done, I've done 2. You've done 2. I've done on my 3rd.
1.5.
You've done 1.5. So partly for a little kick and a motivation to get ours done. But
Yeah.
I'm very tempted to cast on the Badger and Bloom, though, you see, and just go, meh.
Well,
But I
we've had
won't.
some requests for doing a cowl for her patterns, so that
lots
feels-
of reasons, and getting all the yarn.
Yes. So our cowls run. Well, we haven't changed how our cowls run, so you can purchase a ticket for the cowl, and then you receive it's a discount code, but it's basically like a gift card for the value of the ticket that you can then spend in the store, like online or actually physically in store. And that is valid through the end of the knit along.
Yes.
Which means that, so like in my case, I'm going to be finishing my Badger and Bloom for the cowl first.
Yes.
So I already have a project on the go. I had the yarn for it. If I was like a customer, I could buy the ticket, finish that, and then use
For something else.
for something
another
else
project,
that I
yeah.
needed for a
Yeah.
different project.
Yeah.
So it allows us flexibility because we know you may have bought yarn for a pattern that we are doing previously.
Yes.
But knit-alongs are quite a bit of work, and we want there to be, it's important to us that there's a bit of buy-in to participating because we put a lot of effort into them.
We do.
So
And, I'll be doing the Rubinia Light.
we're doing the Rubinia
So
Light.
that's good because we've got 2 different patterns and we've done the Bella blocking. So
Yeah, and you've done the Celine.
and the Celine. I've done the Celine. So
Yeah, I think there's a few people, I'd mentioned it to Athena last night.
Yes.
And she has a sleeve to go on her Badger and Bloom. She's like,
Okay.
oh, can I join you? And I said, yeah, of course you can.
of course you can. Yeah.
Beverly, I think, is thinking
Okay.
about
great,
an Anne
great,
Wetzel pattern.
Yeah.
And
And I want to do the Badger and Bloom as well. So I've got some yarn. I just need some contrast, I think. I think I've got enough, maybe if I work in the ribbing and the yoke. But I focus on that. I will definitely focus on that, and maybe I'll get that done. I'll start another one. I've done the mini Celine as well. You could do that as well, because that's a fun knit.
That is a
3
fun knit.
balls and takes no time at all.
yeah.
But
She's got loads of pattern options.
Yeah.
And so by the time this airs, we will have probably started.
Yes.
But you're welcome to join us at any point in the cowl.
Yeah.
And we'll be ending sort of mid-November.
Yes. Early to mid-November. Yeah.
I think it's the 11th after our retreat.
Okay. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
It's going to get us focused on getting things
finishing
finished
some things and just sort of like channel our enthusiasm
into one
project
one
instead
knit
of
along,
bouncing
one
around
focus for the shop. Yeah.
between lots of patterns.
And we have so many different types of yarns that you can use. I mean, she likes to hold a mohair with something, or you can use just a one, or you can use 3, or you can.
There's
so
you can
many
get really
options.
creative.
You can get really creative with your colors and just to see what everyone's going to make and help people, choosing their colors. And I think it's going to be really, really fun because we've got so much is to go. We're going to have loads of sneffnug.
Yes.
But you don't have to stop there. You can use Walcot. You can use fluff.
You can use some knitting for olive.
There's all kinds of things.
You could do something in the Raw Wool Company.
Yeah.
And there's lots of options. We'll have
lots of suggestions.
There will be suggestions available. Join us for that. It's going to be fun. We meet every Monday of the cowl on Zoom from 7 to 8 p.m. UK time. It is 7 to 8 p.m., yes. It's just every Monday for the length of the knit along, so we can help you and we can just chat and inspire each other. And then we record all of those. So if you miss the live, you get a link and you can watch it back. So you can still participate. You can still see what we're talking about tips and tricks wise, which is also why you can join at any time because you'll then get those videos sent to you and you can catch up. And it's just a really nice way to
always learn something new as well, don't you? Yeah.
From our customers too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
how
always
people do things. Yeah.
We don't know everything.
No, I certainly don't know. No, I'm trying to explain that stitch. I don't even know what it's called, but I know there's a name for it. But anyway, anyway, so lots of options and pattern wise, and it should be fun.
Yeah, it will be
just
fun.
Kind of grew.
Yes.
Just planted and it's growing.
Yes,
Grow.
it is.
Great.
And we've got loads planned for season 4 of the podcast. You're going to see probably the first interview episodes coming out shortly.
Okay.
And then, you'll see Kaylee will be back. She's been doing loads of knitting over the summer.
She has been
as well.
She's, finishing things.
I've seen like
there.
Is it 3 things?
Yes, I
that
think
she's
so.
finished recently.
Yeah. Keep track.
Amanda will be back.
Amanda
We
will
love
be back.
Amanda.
We love Amanda. Yes.
And Beverly will definitely be back as well. I was somewhere with her. I think I was in the shop before vacation, and someone said, "Oh, I recognize you too from the podcast." And she's like, "Oh, I'm not anonymous anymore." So it's going to be a really fun season, a really busy season, and I'm excited for it.
Sweater season.
Sweater season. Knitting season.
All the things you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really well stocked. It's so fun to see all the needles.
It's that part too, though, where you're like, I want everything.
Yeah.
I did buy everything over at Spincycle.
That's the one I need for the cowl. I must have it at home.
I'm sure you do.
It's a cable. I might have to get a cable. I'll check tonight.
Well, you've gotten started. You can keep going. But
Well, no, I think I need to be a bit bigger. Yeah, it's going to be too tight otherwise. Yeah. Anyway.
So we will wrap up episode 1 there.
Perfect.
Thanks for joining me today, Susan.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed our recap of Flock and our...
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. I hope they do it again next year. Hope we get invited back.
I'm sure.
I hope.
We are popular.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever and review us on your audio podcast channels. That really helps.
Yes.
And share us with your friends if you are enjoying it. Spread the yarny love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.